Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I am excited about today's topic because I'm always excited about sharing how you can make more money online. As you're coming in, just give me a shout out. Where in the world are you hailing from this fine afternoon or fine morning, wherever in the world you are? I'm in Tampa, Florida. And if you do not know me, my name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist who specializes in helping people make more revenue with digital and social media. I really do love sharing knowledge that moves people's businesses forward. So as you guys are coming in, just give me a shout out. Where are you in the world today? Today, I'm going to be talking about a specific strategy that has really changed the way that my business one the one it has helped my business generate more revenue. It has also helped me turn the pieces and parts that go into selling much faster. And I can do it in-house instead of having to hire someone like a copywriter, for example, to do things for me. So we've got Paul from Laurel, Maryland. Hey, Paul, good to see you. How was your Easter? I got a lovely message from you. Thank you for sending a Easter message. And then we've got Valdosa, Georgia in the house. Hello, hello. Sarah from Ireland. Hello, Sarah. Hope you're doing good. Sunny Easter Monday evening in the UK. Hey, Chris. Yes, it's a beautiful day here in Tampa as well. I've barely been outside because I've had several lives today. I had one this morning and obviously this one. So been preparing for this. Yay. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. And then we've got Kim from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Glad to see you. Not at Kim. I'm sorry, Ashley. Apologize for that, Ashley. I saw Kim here somewhere. She sped by. Okay, so in all transparency, I want to share with you guys the front side of something that I am getting ready to roll out. As I've shared with you guys many times, well, several times in the past few weeks, as we're going through this crazy time, I've been trying to help my community in ways that are going to matter. Like, a lot of my community are people that are service-based entrepreneurs, or they have been impacted by the coronavirus in some capacity. Maybe they've had one income stream and they need to figure out how to generate some additional revenue, for example. So I've been trying to figure out how could I step into that space and share knowledge, that things that I didn't have created. In other words, things that I had to create in order to share the knowledge. And we've been doing it kind of messy. A couple of weeks ago, we did something called PDF to Profit, where I basically taught how you create an offer so that you can sell it, and taking something that you might already have, but packaging it up in a way that people are willing to pay for it. Kind of like an introductory offer, front side of your funnel, if you will. So we've got Arkansas. Hey, Sandra from Arkansas. We've got Liverpool, New York. Hey, Dana, good to see you. And then we've got Catherine from France. Hey, Catherine. So the next step in this process was to take that offer, or anything, honestly, anything that you guys are selling, and be able to sell it in the fastest and most economical way possible. Okay. So the normal process is you got something to sell and you need a sales page, or you need a landing page, right? Okay, well, what does that involve? That usually takes hiring a copywriter or figuring out how to write copy yourself. And it's a process, and usually it takes way too long. And so many times I see, because I've been that person, where I just get stuck in my tracks because I can't get to the next thing, right? I can't, like, my copy is stinky. I'm not a copywriter. I'll be the first to tell you that. Maybe I don't want to spend $5,000 to $10,000 to get a sales page wrote for something that's low cost, or I got to sell a bunch of that to be able to make my money back on that. So I have been there, done that. That has been a huge problem, especially in the early days when I was first learning digital marketing. And then someone introduced me to the concept of an ugly sales letter. Have you guys ever heard of the concept of an ugly sales letter? Specifically, an ugly video sales letter. So, you know, you never can please everybody, right? Anyway, for the trolls in the house, sorry, dude, you're just going to have to go somewhere else. Not here to please everybody. I got to have them to be able to see. So an ugly sales letter. Basically what that is you've probably seen them. For the most part, they are just a white background with some text on them. And you see them a lot at the top of a sales page. And sometimes they are, all the time they're a video usually, and you can do them a couple of different ways. What I've done is evolution of what I call an ugly sales letter, where it's just this white background with text on it, and it's a voiceover on top of it. And then I've also done the same formula almost always now, where I will just use the formula, because there is a formula to selling, whether it's a sales page or whether it's putting it into a format, whether it's a video format, a PowerPoint presentation that you do for a webinar. There is a formula for selling. So that's what I use. I take that formula, and I'm going to share that with you guys today. I take the formula, and then I will write my script, if you will, because it's fill in the blank. I take a very basic formula, and then I fill in the blanks, and then I will basically go record that video. Most of the time, I don't even create a PowerPoint for it anymore. But what I'm going to share with you today is a PowerPoint. It's a traditional ugly sales letter that you guys can do as well. So I'm going to share the formula with you. And like I say, this is something I'm getting ready to teach. I'm getting ready. In fact, I'm opening the doors to the video sales letter to profit training today. We're doing it messy again, but I decided I would go live and share the formula. The course has got a lot of moving pieces and parts in it. The training does, but at a minimum, the formula is what it is. It's the same thing that not only I use, by the way, I'm not the only one to use this formula. You'll see a lot of marketers leveraging the power of video sales letters. You probably just didn't know that that's what they were. All right. So, Nancy, thank you. But honestly, you know what? Like I say, it reminds me a little bit of back in the Periscope days, in the early Periscope days, when you had what I call, the trolls who come on and have nothing better to do than to give nasty comments to people around here trying to help others. It's okay. It's really okay. That's the worst thing that happens to me. We're in good shape. All right, so let me share my screen with you guys, because like I say, that's my goal, is to just share the formula with you all today. In all transparency, I am going to give you a way to purchase this if you want to, but you do not have to. You can take this formula and run with it. So the very first part of your formula, if you will, when it comes to writing a video sales script, is you got to hook them. And what I mean by that is you've got to immediately set the stage with what's in it for them so that they'll stick around for the rest of your video. By the way, this is true, in my opinion, for anything. Like if you're going to go live, for example, like we're doing right now, I usually try to tell you guys right up front what's in it for you. Why? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to share? So that you know, hey, do I want to hang out and listen to this, or do I need to just bounce? This isn't for me. So you need to hook them right out the gate and let them know. And let me share what that looks like from a video perspective, or keep in mind, this is a PowerPoint that you would just record a voiceover for. So you're basically getting to see my ugly sales video, the formula, not only the formula, but what it looks like as well. All right, so here's the first page, the first step of it, my hook, if you will. So my hook for the Video Sales Letter to Profit course is, are you struggling to sell your product or service online? Or is your website or landing page not converting as high as you would like it to? And then the next step, so like I said, the first step is I had to hook them. I had to tell them, hey, is this your problem? And then, I would outline that problem a little bit, share their pain point that I know that my viewer has, and that you intend to fix for them. So I would go into it a little bit more. And it is tougher than ever to get more people clicking that buy button these days. So again, I'm starting to really flesh out the problem, right? It doesn't really matter what you're selling, whether it's a product or a service. The reality is that it is getting harder and harder to sell. So that, again, I'm starting to really flesh out that not only is it a problem, but, I get it because there's extenuating things happening today. And then because there is a ton of competition out there, right? And there's a lot of people, a lot of things competing for our buyers' attention. So that is where like I say, I continue to flesh out the problem a little bit, give it a little bit more depth on the front side of the video. So everybody's seeing how that would, if that's your problem, you would understand, right? You'd get it. You'd be like, yeah, I'm not getting the amount of sales I want. And you're right. I know I'm competing against a lot of other things. So that I'm like, at that point, if I'm the viewer, I'm like, okay, is she hinting that she has a solution to this problem? Which is the next piece of the formula. The next piece of the formula is enter the solution. You have to let your viewer know that you have the solution to their problem and that you intend to share the solution with them. So that's the next piece. I want to say, hey to Jen. Hey, Jen and Joe. Oh, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Hey, Phyllis. Woohoo! I'm glad you're here. So next step again is setting the stage for the fact that you're letting your viewer know that you do have a solution for them. So let me share what that would look like in the context of this this training that I'm getting ready to do, or this course that I'm getting ready to share. All right. So the only way to cut through that noise is to craft a well-done sales video. So I'm starting to seed what I'm selling, right? And with video, you can replicate the most effective form of selling, which is that face-to-face. And the best part is that it is scalable. You can have lots of conversations in a short window of time. So if you have ever wondered what the magic sauce is to double your sales, then stick around because I'm going to tell you. So that kind of sets the stage for, I understand their problem. I have a solution. And if they hang in there with me, I'm going to tell them about it. So we're up to next step is step 4, which is establishing your credibility and your expertise. So you want to introduce yourself and establish that expertise, share with people why they would want to know, like, and trust you, essentially, or more specifically, trust you to solve the problem for them. So I go ahead and I introduce myself. Hi, my name is Kim Garst, and I'm an online marketing strategist, founder of Live to Profit, and a Forbes Top 10 social media power influencer. So that's the next piece of it, right? And then the next piece is step 5 is you got to tell the story. This is where it's really important to share how or why you created your product or service to begin with. It really helps your viewer to know that you get them and that you can help them. It kind of, depending on the situation, and not all cases, but in my case in particular, my perfect client is a previous version of me. So I can almost always emphasize with them or sympathize with them because I have been them. And normally when I'm teaching and sharing, it comes from a place of just that, where I've been there, done that. I found a better way of doing it, and I can help you find a better way to do it too. So tell the story. Let me take a quick sip here. All right, so let me tell the story real quick in the framework of an ugly sales video. If you have ever felt stuck when it comes to selling your products or services because you simply don't know how, or you don't have the dollars to pay someone to write a high converting sales page, I can relate. When I first started packaging up my knowledge and selling courses, I had no idea how to do it. And that ain't no lie. I had no idea. It took me years to figure out a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you right now. I posted on social media, but I just didn't get the sales that I was looking for. How many of you guys feel that way? Like, you've put yourself out there, you've shared your products and your services, but it didn't create 5 figures in sales on social media or 6 figures in sales. It happens. It's very rare that social media drives the volume of sales that you're probably looking for when it comes to your bottom line. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Social media is a great aggregator of for your tribe and touch point and connection, but it's not always absolutely the best way to sell. So another thing that I did, I paid thousands of dollars to copywriters for sales pages that didn't really convert very well. And I even tried my hand at learning copywriting. And oh my gosh, guys, that was a utter failure. So I would bet you that some of you guys can sympathize right now with it, or not sympathize. You relate to some of these things because you may have tried to write your own sales pages. You might have tried to pay folks to write your copy. You might have put yourself out there on social media, but just didn't get the sales you wanted. I can write these things because I understand I've been that person. And then, so the next piece, the next part of the sales formula when it comes to writing an ugly video sales letter is painting the picture, if you will, transitioning them to a better way. So the better way is doing things that either easier or, again, positioning it from the place of, life doesn't have to look like that. It can look like this over here. So you start to transition to a better way. So what that looks like in this framework is, then someone told me about VSLs, video sales letters, and my world and my sales were forever changed. They put more dollars in my pocket than most other advertising and sales formats combined. Absolutely true. And I'm not the only one to have discovered this secret. Like I said before, that is absolutely the case. If you go and check out other marketers, I am positive that you will find others are leveraging the power of video specifically to sell, but they also have very formulaic strategies around how they put their videos together. And I know this because I've studied the top marketers for years and found that almost all of them are using a simple formula, which I'm sharing my formula with you guys right now. And they use that formula to create those short videos that generate tons of sales in a short period of time. All right, the next piece of the formula is to restate that there is a solution or a hope. You really want to let people know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, if you want to say it that way. This is where they start to believe that there is a solution for their problem and that you have that solution. I'm glad this is helpful, Victoria. Excellent. Yes. Good. So yeah, this is just a simple PowerPoint presentation. And that's what's so beautiful about this, guys. Ugly sales videos are just a white sales page. I'm sorry, a white background with black text. You can pretty it up a little bit if you want, but there's a reason that they're called ugly sales pages. Ugly sales videos, because they're just super plain and they're really easy and formulaic, which is, like I say, why I wanted to share this strategy with you guys today. All right. So again, restating that there is a hope or a solution out there. So let me go through that process as it relates to this. And the best part, these videos don't require swanky studios, nice cameras, lights, fancy software. And this is the best part, or even you guys. Is anybody like, what? Like, yeah, you guys don't have to be in front of the camera to create a high converting sales video. Now, like I said before, I have taken this formula and now I usually do go live with it. Like, I record myself, but you don't have to. And they're just as effective. This whole ugly sales video that you're seeing right now, I have used these over and over again and sold thousands of dollars worth of stuff online using a very simple formula and a very ugly video sales letter, which is exciting for me to know that you guys can do this without having to get in front of the camera. And then I say, did you know that normal sales pages convert between 1% to 2% of their visitors? And that's if you're lucky, frankly. A landing page, though, with a video sales letter can convert between 5 to 10% of visitors. That's a huge difference. Who doesn't want that, right? So I start to see this, okay, I've told you there's a better way. You can do this, and why wouldn't you want this? And then in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get your hands on this formula, which, by the way, I'm sharing the formula with you guys right now, so that you can double, triple, or even quadruple your sales. Enter the problem with creating video sales letters is that most of us don't know what to say or how to say it to get people to click that buy button. We need a simple way just to fill in the blanks. So that's when you would introduce your solution. And this is where you would not only introduce it, but introduce it by product name or, like if it's, for me, for example, it's VSL to profit. So here's where I start to introduce the actual product that I'm trying to sell. And the good news for you is that that is exactly what my new VSL to profit training does. And then next up in the formula is overcoming objections. You want to eliminate the viewer's objections that might keep them from saying yes. Yes, I want this. I got to have it. So understanding what they might say, what they might need to overcome is important in that process, right? So I start to go through this and lay it out. So anyone, regardless of experience, because a lot of people get hung up on, oh my gosh, what if I'm not techie. Can I do this? So I take that away from them right out the gate. Anyone, regardless of experience, can create a simple video sales letter. Next up, I say, and finally start to get what they want, right? They want conversions between 5 and 10% without a lot of sales experience, hiring a high-end copywriter, and yes, without even you needing to be on camera, because that's a big holdup for a lot of people. They don't want to put themselves out there. They do not want to be seen on camera. So I take all those objections, anything that I know that they would object to, and I just lay it out there. I take it away. Yes, you can do this without fancy smancy stuff, tech, Uber tech, being Uber techie, even without yourself. You don't even have to put yourself on camera. So again, identifying their objections and putting them out there, taking them away from them, essentially. Step 10 is explaining the benefits. This is where you start to talk about the big transformations that your product or service offers. So what would that look like? VSL to profit will help you, one, script a high converting sales video, just like this one, even if you have never written a single word of copy before. My fill in the blank template will make this quick, painless, and almost impossible to screw up. So I'm telling them they can't fail, right? You're going to also learn a simple step-by-step formula that, when followed, can turn your most skeptical prospects into buyers. I will share my top secret tips on how to record and produce this video sales letter without the fancy smancy software or equipment. And I'll also be sharing one proven trick that can boost your conversions by at least 25%. So that kind of laid all of the, what's in it for them. And then the next thing I do is I start to paint the possibles. Imagine statements is what I call them. It kind of makes people start to look at it from the perspective of what would life look like if you had this and you knew this and you could do this, right? So hang on, let me get another sip. All right. Imagine being able to create simple videos that you can use to sell anything you want. So imagine that for a hot second. I mean, seriously, let that soak in for a second. Who wouldn't want to do that? This, I'm telling you, this was such a game changer for me when I realized I didn't have to, uh, wait on a copywriter, or I could just, follow a simple formula, fill in the blanks, with whatever it was I was selling, and then I could sell anything that I wanted to. And then imagine being able to convert 6, 7, up to 10% of your visitors into paying customers. Again, who doesn't want that? Imagine having affiliates lined up to sell your products or services because your offers are flying out the door. Like, again, can you imagine as the evolution of your sales start to build out, wouldn't it be really nice if people were reaching out and saying, hey, I want to sell your product or service. And now you have other people lined up to sell your stuff. And then imagine finally having sales that are high enough that you could afford to invest in paid traffic, if that's something that would be of interest. But best of all, and this is really the best part of all, imagine feeling like you're finally generating the amount of revenue that you want online. Because getting stuck at the sales piece of everything is a bottleneck. And this fixes the bottleneck, essentially. The next step of the formula is adding some awesome bonuses in. You want to make it uber tough for them to say no to your offer, right? So again, this is how I'm positioning the video sales letter to profit. I'm letting them know, like, when you purchase this, I'm going to throw in some super sweet bonuses. Obviously, bonuses are usually free, but I state that they're free so that they know that. The video sales letter landing page builder. So I walk people through step by step how to create a high converting page that your video lives on, even if you aren't uber techie. I also have a VSL marketing blueprint. So I'm going to share with them how they use their VSL to make sure that you create the most profit that you can for your business. And it's a very interesting structure that literally anyone can do. And not only can you use it for your video sales letter pages, if you will, but really for anything. It's all about traffic, essentially. And then my VSL PowerPoint template. So this template that I'm giving you guys right now, or that I'm showing you guys right now, I'm going to give that to those who purchase this course, because even though it's a simple white background with text on it, there is a formula for, how you center it, what fonts you use. There's some things. And when you have a baseline to operate from, and all you have to do is edit it, trust me, it saves you hours and hours of time. So I'm going to, throw that in. And as you'll notice, I've assigned values to everything so that they start to build this out. Like, they start to see, wow, okay, that's worth that much and that's worth that much. Okay. And you start to seed how much value is in what you're offering up before you've ever told them what the price is. And then, also I'm going to have a private Facebook group because of the times we're in right now. As I shared with you guys before, I've been doing what I call messy right now. And we're delivering all this content inside of a Facebook group so that we can get it out as fast as we possibly can and do it in a hands-on way. So we've been doing these small courses that are very intentional with a very specific outcome in a hands-on way where we're giving feedback and things of that nature. So I share, how it's going to be dripped out, how we're delivering it, and then, how that's going to matter. My team and I are going to be working hand in hand with you to ensure that you will be on your road to creating more sales in your business as fast as possible. And this is where I think the real value in this bonus comes into play, because we are hands-on. We are in there. We're reviewing things like scripts and videos and offering up personalized feedback. That's all actually very priceless for those that are trying to do something of this nature. And then you start to stack the value at step 12. You use your bonuses, your scarcity, and a sense of urgency to the value or your offer. So this is where the stacking part comes into play. So if we sum it all up, the VSL to profit is got a value of $997. And I start to, again, just the pieces. These are the bonuses, right? So I start to lay them out and I give, again, the value of them are there. the VSL marketing blueprint, value, the VSL PowerPoint template, value, the private Facebook group, again, value. And then I lay it all out and I showcase the price, right? The total price, $2,692. And people are like, well, I can't afford that. But that's when before you go there, you quickly roll into a special price because you want to make it as hard for them to say no, again, with a no-brainer price. So again, the value is this much, but I'm not going to charge you that much. And then last but not least, well, actually there's three more steps. Before you go into the next phase, you want to take away any last minute objections. Sometimes it could be cost, right? Where they're like thinking, okay, this is going to be too much for me. I can't afford it. But most of the time it's not that. Most of the time it's psychological things. It's fear factors usually. So I start to identify those core things and sometimes align them with what I know they want. But would it be worth it all if all it did was increase your sales by 25%? Or allow you to launch a new product in 24 to 48 hours, or help you to stand out from the rest of the noise out there. So I start to, again, align those things with things I know that would be transformational for them if they said yes, right? And then you want to make a call to action. You see the price again, and you say, well, this is going to have a retail price of $9.97 on it. You could just jump right into the final price if you wanted to. But in my case, because I am really, really trying to show up and give value and showcase ways that people in my community can go from zero to revenue in a much shorter time, I'm trying to get this out to as many people as possible at a price that's a no-brainer. And like I say, we are doing this messy. And then for the next 72 hours, you can get everything for just one payment of $147. So that's where you start. That's where you give them that no-brainer offer, right? And then remember, this training is designed to help you get quick profit and more sales and get control of your income so that you never have to worry about where your next sale is coming from. So I really key in on a huge problem for a lot of my community right now, which is, the fear factor of what's happening for them. A lot of them have lost revenue. They need to replace it. And in many cases, they're reliant on someone else for that revenue. They may have clients, for example. There's nothing wrong with clients, but when you control your own destiny with your knowledge, with your resources, your offers, then it gives back some control, and it also gives you an opportunity to never have to worry about where your next sale is coming from as well. So I really key in on that. And then the next thing I do is I talk about FOMO. You want to remind them that this offer won't last forever. This just goes back to, just reminding them this is only available for a short period of time. In my case, you need to act fast because this discount is only available for the next 72 hours, and then it's going to go back up to the retail price. And then you make a call to action again. So click that buy button now, and let's get you into the Facebook group. So that's the formula, guys. And again, there's a couple of variations. You could have rearranged things in some cases, but it's a very systematic, step-by-step formula for writing a video sales letter that can be ugly or otherwise. Yay. Excellent, Nancy. I'm so glad. So like I shared with you guys before, I broke down my ugly video sales letter, and we are launching the video sales letter to profit course. If anybody, like I said, I wanted to be open and transparent about that on the front side because I wanted to give you the formula, but all the things that I shared with you through the course of going through the formula and breaking it down for you is also a part of the course. So thank you, Andrew. It's so good to see you. So if anybody is interested in the actual course, you can't click, but just go to kimgarst.com/VSL to profit. Like I've shared with you guys before, it is probably the easiest way to create a sales page. And I love this, Chris. It is not ugly. It is beautiful. Seriously, this is a beautiful formula. And if implemented, it is also very easy to do. Once you've done it a couple of times, it just becomes like pretty easy. And then you can roll more stuff out faster because you don't have to. And the best part, so let me just share a couple of best parts. There's actually a couple of best parts. One, you don't have to hire a copywriter and pay thousands of dollars. That's a beautiful thing. You can react much quicker, meaning you can get more things out there for sale faster. For me, the thing that I think is so beautiful is you don't have to design a sales page. Lean in. Y'all don't have to design a sales page. You can actually just put up your video with a buy now button under it. It works. Thank you. Thank you. And Kim, Tina says, Kim, you always make things so easy to understand. Yes, that's my goal. I honestly, I think my superpower, I don't know, I'd love your all's thoughts on this, but I like to think my superpower is taking the complex and making it simple. Excellent, Joy. Thank you. Like I say, you guys, anybody could take this formula and do great things with it. It works. It's duplicatable. It is literally, you could go reverse engineer anybody's video sales letter and you'll find the components that I went over in that video. Oh, I love this question. Hang on, where did it go? Catherine says, is VSL as effective as a webinar? It's the same thing. So Catherine, when I have something that I want to sell in a webinar, I use the same format in large part. I use elements of it in large part, especially the sales piece of it as a webinar. Great question. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's formulaic for sure. Yes, a value for money offer, just like buying an item worth 150 US, but can sell and earn 10 times with it. Yes. And that's the key always, take the formulas that you, and honestly, there are, so let me talk about this real quickly, because it's a little bit of a, look at this face, a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Digital marketing is a lot different than social media marketing. And yet digital marketing is where the money is. So when you are going to put yourself out there and ask for somebody else to trust you with their dollars, that whatever it is that you're exchanging for that dollar amount is going to be value-based to them. I think we need to show up as ourselves, put our own spin on this. So even though there are formulas for what I just shared with you, your voice needs to come out. You need to, how would you say it if you were just talking to someone? You need to make sure that as you're filling in the blanks, if you will, in the script, that you as a person comes out. All right. So Elisa, I just went over a video sales letter formula for creating more sales using just what I call an ugly video sales letter. Definitely catch the replay. I think it'll be worth it. Excellent. So Joy says, I've been looking for something like this. Yeah, this is, honestly, it has changed. When I discovered video sales letters, it changed everything. If you go to literally any of my sales pages, you'll find a video at the top. But I will say this too. Let's say I've done some that are just videos. There's not a bunch of copy underneath them. And that's really what I'm teaching in the video VSL to Profit course. is a very simple methodology so that anybody can do it, because I've done it that way. But if you want to get a little fancier, you can have your video transcribed, because it is a sales page inside of a video. You can have it transcribed and turn the text, into your sales page copy as well. Hint, hint. And yes, the replay is right here, same place that you are right now, Dr. Lorraine. So if you, we'll be ending here in just a few minutes, and you'll be able to watch the replay in its entirety. All right. So like I said, guys, if you are interested in not only, I shared the process, the formula with you, but in the course, I give a fill in the blank script. You'll get feedback from me and my team. You'll learn how to actually profit from it with a marketing strategy, and so many other things. I'm really excited about sharing this. I've never shared this before. I've never shared it in my inner circle. I've never shared it. So this is going to be the very first time that we've broken it down and put it out in training format. Oh, thank you, Paul. So Paul was in my last messy course. That's what we've been calling them, these impromptu things that I know my community needs. He went through the PDF to Profit, and so he said it was great. Yeah, I'm excited about this one, because you have to have something to sell first, and then you have to have a way to sell it, a mechanism, the VSL, and then you also need a traffic source. I don't know if I would put it on my blog, unless you're, because again, well, it depends. I mean, is the page that you're going to put it on going to be something you're going to send traffic to? And are you going to have a buy button? Which goes right back to, is it a sales page or is it a blog? So I think it depends, Joy. Great question, though. Oh, yes. I'm glad that you are doing this one as well, Sarah. I'm looking forward to working with you again. Catherine says, is conversion rate not higher when we show up on video? I have not found it to be dramatically higher, Catherine, which is kind of a fascinating dynamic. I usually do go live with them because in all honesty, I'm being lazy. So it's easier now for me, because I do so much live video, to just sit down and record my script than it is for me to make the ugly sales video, the PowerPoint that goes with it, and then doing the voiceover. So normally now, but again, that's been a transition for me. When I first started, I used exactly what I shared with you today. I used a white background with black text, simple, easy, and it worked with just a voiceover. So Colleen says, what if we are struggling to determine what to sell? Well, Colleen, I do believe you need something to sell in order for this to work. When you say you're struggling with what to sell, is it because you have things, but you're not sure what to sell? Or do you just not know what to sell? Like you don't have anything to sell? I think there's sometimes people have things, they just haven't figured out how to package them correctly, which is what my PDF to Profit course was all about. But if you don't have anything to sell, that's a whole different animal. Yay! I love this. Nancy says, I'm in. Yes, I'm looking forward to working with you. All right. Well, yes. Well, I just, like I said, I wanted to share, the whole process, be totally transparent on how it is that, we break things down, and a piece of, even if you decide you don't want to, jump into the VSL to Profit, you'll have the formula. You can always leverage the power of a formula to create your own videos. All right. So Joy is saying, I do skincare and waxing as a solo in my brick and mortar. Is this something for me? Absolutely. So if like right now, for example, Joy, obviously people are not coming into your brick and mortar, right? But if you had a page where they could go hear an offer like, hey, I get you. You can't come into my store right now. In other words, you touch on the pain point, and then you offer up a package deal of some sort. Then all they have to do is buy it, and you ship it to them. So this is what I call a pivot for sure. For people, business owners, brick and mortar businesses right now are struggling because people can't come into their locations. So how do you shift? How do you let people know that they can buy something without having to come into your store? All right. Excellent. Well, I'm excited. I see several people saying they're jumping in. Um, Super excited about that. One, because I know this is going to be a game changer for so many. And I'm excited to be working with you guys again. There's several, obviously, in my last PDF to Profit class, and they're ready for the next step, which is a mechanism to sell what they put together. All right. All right, guys, if you, like I say, if you're interested, just go to kimgross.com/VSL to profit. We're actually getting started on Thursday. Thursday will be the first class, if you will. So it gives you a few days, and we're going to be jumping into the goodies and going through the process. We have 2 work days built into the structure. So like day 1, we'll go over the structure again in a lot more detail. I'll be providing the fill in the blank scripts. Day 2 will be a work day. So you'll go write your scripts on day 2. And then, the next training will be about recording it. And then, we'll give feedback on scripts first, and then we'll learn how to record it. Then we'll give feedback on the recordings. And so having that personalized feedback is going to be invaluable. Trust me on that. It just really matters when it comes to getting another set of eyes on things, because it really is hard when, especially the first time you go through it, having somebody to say, oh, maybe if you reworded it slightly like this, it would be better. So Sandra, yes, I'm in the group every day. I do the training myself. It's myself, and of course the team is in there as well. Rhonda, my CMO, she's my marketing director of marketing. She's in there a lot because she draws the short end of the stick because of time differences. A lot of my team is located in other places in the world. So because she's on my time zone, she draws the short end of the stick a lot. But that's also good because not only do you have access to me, but you have access to her as well. All right. Well, guys and gals, thank you for spending some time with me. For those of you who said, I definitely want to do this, I'm going to join you. I can't wait to work with you. For those of you who this isn't for you right now, that's okay. Take the formula, though, that I went through, and put it on the back burner somewhere until you're ready for it, because it works. All right. All right, guys, take care. God bless. And we will see you soon.